is happening in America. You can feel it. Something we've worked for and dreamed of for a long time. Donald Trump fell asleep at his own trial, and when he woke up, he made his own kind of history. The first person to run for president with 34 felonies.
He was the most unlikable candidate in the history of presidents, and that's saying a lot.
But Biden says the same thing.
He's number two. When Biden says something, does anyone be like, oh?
Right.
No, they used to go, oh, what'd he say?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be another ordinary panel discussion, the kind of back-and-forth chatter that fills up late-night political commentary. But then Tyrus stepped in, and what he dropped wasn't just another opinion. It was a bombshell, one that had the audience gasping and the host scrambling to regain control. With his trademark bluntness, Tyrus went straight at Hillary Clinton, not with vague criticism or recycled talking points, but with specifics, with receipts, with the kind of directness that you almost never hear on television anymore. He called out her history, her actions, and her influence, laying out point after point in a way that made it impossible to ignore. And what shocked people most wasn't just the substance of what he said, but the fact that he dared to say it all, live unfiltered in front of millions. The camera cut to the other guests. Their faces said it all, shock, disbelief, even discomfort, because this wasn't supposed to happen, this wasn't the script, and yet it was happening anyway. And the audience? They leaned in, because love him or hate him, Tyrus was speaking with a conviction that cut through the noise, and for once, it felt like someone was pulling back the curtain on a political figure who's been untouchable for decades. By the time the segment wrapped, social media was already on fire, clips of the exchange spreading at lightning speed, with people debating, sharing, and reacting in real time, some cheering Tyrus for his honesty, others furious that he went there, but either way, nobody could look away. This wasn't just commentary, it was confrontation, and it left one of the most powerful political names in America facing questions she did not want raised again, especially not like this, especially not live on air.
Hillary Clinton is one of the most disgusting human beings on the planet.
Very much so.
Always has been, always will be, and will be inserting clips on her response to Benghazi several times throughout the interview. I want to show who she is.
She's worse than her husband.
A lot of people say that this was triggered by a YouTube video. This is her statement. I condemn in the strongest terms the attack on our mission in Benghazi today. The United States deplores any intentional effort to denigrate the religious beliefs of others. Our commitment to religious tolerance goes back to the very beginning.
Is it a red hat? I'll get one. Like, it's ridiculous that when the losing side or someone, she's just a very unlikable person and will say anything to get this attention. But here's the thing, it's changed. America has changed. We no longer listen to that stuff. Now when they say it, we go, that's why I didn't vote for you.
The moment the cameras cut to commercial, the damage was already done. Tyrus had lit the fuse, and what followed was a firestorm. The segment hit social media within minutes, clips spreading across X, YouTube, and TikTok, each one racking up hundreds of thousands of views. And the reaction? Explosive. Some viewers praised Tyrus for doing what so many others won't, speaking plainly about Hillary Clinton's legacy, without fear, without filters. They pointed out how rare it is to see someone on live television willing to cut through the carefully managed narratives to lay things out bluntly for the audience at home. To them, it wasn't just refreshing, it was necessary. But for others, it was nothing short of an outrage. Clinton's defenders rushed in, slamming Tyrus for daring to go there, calling his remarks reckless, inflammatory, even dangerous. And that's exactly why the clip kept spreading. Because whether people loved it or hated it, they couldn't stop talking about it. The network itself looked shaken. Hosts tried to move on, but the tension in the studio was obvious. The faces of the panel told the story: unease, discomfort, even frustration that someone had broken the unspoken rule. Don't challenge the establishment too directly, and definitely not on live television. And here's the reality. This wasn't just a one-off comment. This was a cultural moment. For years, Hillary Clinton has been one of the most polarizing figures in American politics, shielded by allies, defended fiercely, but also criticized relentlessly.
She's just evil. Like, There's nothing like her.
Why would
on
she
this-
even tweet that? Like, don't you have
I
to do?
think she just sits
No, she
around
doesn't. That's the
in
whole
her
point.
evil lair. Whenever she runs out of Eye of Newt and small children to boil, she then goes to X and just says whatever the most evilest thing. I think if the devil himself showed up, like, you'll never hear her being possessed by a demon. You know what I'm saying? The demon will walk in and the demon will be calling Dr. Phil, you don't believe the that I just saw, bro. Like.
So what exactly did Tyrus expose? Well, let's just say
What Tyrus did was take all of that and put it center stage again, forcing people to look, forcing people to react. The fallout didn't just end with social media chatter. Commentators across the spectrum weighed in. Some framed it as truth-telling at its finest, the kind of thing journalism has abandoned. Others condemned it, saying it was grandstanding, an unnecessary attack. But either way, it pushed Hillary Clinton back into the spotlight in a way she probably did not want. And maybe that's the point. Tyrus knew exactly what he was doing. He didn't stumble into this moment. He created it. By choosing live television, by refusing to soften his words, he ensured that his comments couldn't be edited, couldn't be watered down, couldn't be buried. They were out there raw, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with a reminder that sometimes truth, or at least a version of it, has the most power when it's unpolished, unfiltered, and said out loud when no one expects it. Tyrus dropped the bombshell, and in doing so, he changed the conversation. Because love him or hate him, agree or disagree, everyone is still talking about it. And in today's media world, that means one thing: he won.
Your buddy Epstein didn't off himself, and she has all this extra footage cut up in the closet. Like, I bet he has. I bet Bill has not had a good night's sleep for years. I mean, that's why he aged so badly. You know, like, a lot of people don't know this. Bill Clinton is only 37 years old.
You know, Tyrus, and this goes back to 2016, people were reluctant to talk to pollsters and say, I like Donald Trump. And now, fast forward 8 years later, essentially they're saying, if you like him, you're in a cult. Do you really want to be in a cult?
If the cult that Hillary doesn't like, yeah.
By now, it's clear this wasn't just another TV moment. What Tyrus did cracked the surface of a narrative many thought was untouchable. Hillary Clinton has weathered countless storms, but this time, the attack came in a way she couldn't control. Live, unedited, and impossible to spin away. The aftershock? It's not just about her. It's about how much the public is willing to question, how far the conversation has shifted, and how fragile the old playbook has become. And that's the legacy of this exchange. Tyrus didn't just drop a bombshell. He reminded everyone watching that no figure, no matter how powerful, is beyond criticism. The ripple effects are still spreading.
I want you to remember what Donald Trump said about Hillary Clinton back in the 2016 debate.
It's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
It's like, yeah, because you'd be going to jail, lady.
the explosion
The headlines haven't stopped. And if there's one takeaway, it's this: the truth, or even the raw perception of it, still has the power to shake the room. At the end of the day, what we just witnessed wasn't entertainment. It was exposure. For years, Hillary Clinton's name has carried weight, influence, and protection.
She talks, you kind of get why Bill did what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, it's kind of like, again, I don't condone, cheating, but
No.
that's your morning.
Yeah.
You gotta kiss that before you go to bed at night, and then you gotta sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
But when Tyrus stepped in and ripped away the polished veneer, what remained was the one thing her camp never wanted out in the open: vulnerability. And here's the kicker: this isn't going away. The clip is spreading like wildfire across social media, fueling debates, igniting fresh scrutiny, and reopening questions that were supposed to be buried long ago. The more her defenders scramble, the more the cracks widen, and the harder it becomes to control the damage. This is bigger than politics, bigger than TV. This is the unraveling of carefully built narratives in real time, and it shows just how quickly everything can flip in today's media landscape. Tyrus didn't just embarrass Hillary Clinton. He tore down the illusion that she's untouchable. And once that illusion breaks, there's no putting it back together.
The catfish. Well, they wanted us to believe it was a big naughty redhead that was going around, was going to ruin the world and do all kinds of bad things to us. Turns out the catfish was, hey, we don't boo here, but for this one time, you may boo.
So where does this go next? That's the question. But one thing is certain, Hillary Clinton won't forget this moment. And neither will the audience who saw it happen. Because once the truth gets out, no amount of spin can stop it.